Ybor City historically was the neighborhood where the cigar factories were. Cuban cigar rollers lived here.
Knowing what us experience with shows, and I experienced in my show, is that it's depending on the venue. If you have a band in your venue, it gets loud,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, if you're tattooing, you got this band behind you, it sucks. His is different.
There was a guy in the lobby with no shirt on, which I don't know what you know about that, but a lawyer told me a long time ago. If the cops show up and there's a guy with no shirt on, that's the guy that's going to jail. So, like,
keep your shirts on, guys.
I mean,
all right.
Los Rayados Tattoo Podcast. Podcast loudly, make it laugh. Their stories and sit back. In this world we're going.
How you doing, guys? I'm here with Clay from Atomic with, what's the name again?
Los Rayados.
He knows it more than I do, okay? I'm the worst in art. Well, I'm here with Clay. Introduce yourself. Say more about you.
All right, I'm Clay Montgomery from Atomic Tattoos. We're here at my store in Ybor City in Tampa. This is the party district in Tampa where all the nightclubs and bars and restaurants are. And we've had this location here for well over 10 years now. There's a long history of tattooing in this neighborhood and in Tampa in general. And I'm real fortunate to be a part of that.
Yeah, he's right with the party history. I mean, I was raised here. I lived, 6 blocks from here. And there was that club Empire that was here.
Empire was down.
That was like heavy metal or something like that.
Yep.
I used to ride my bike out here and you'd be like, you guys, and they'd throw bottles at me that time. That was the good old days. But yeah, so tell me a little bit. I mean, you know Ybor. You have a business here in Ybor. Ybor has changed a lot.
Yeah.
I love Ybor. It's changed to the good and bad. But tell me a little bit more.
Okay, so Ybor City historically was the neighborhood where the cigar factories were. Cuban cigar rollers lived here, and in the 20s and 30s, this was the cigar capital of the world after Key West kind of burned down. And they brought the industry here to Tampa because it had a deep water port and the train tracks came this far south. This was way before Miami was anything other than a swamp.
And there was other stuff here too.
What's that?
You remember there was other stuff too than the cigars. There was the mob in here.
Oh, yeah.
The mob was related here.
Tampa has a long history of various sorts of industries, let's say. It started out as a military outpost during the Spanish-American War called Fort Brooke, and then evolved into a pretty diverse and dynamic city, I think. It's got a lot going on.
A lot of people was not aware. I mean, I mean, for me being a Tampa native here, a lot of people talk about the Cuban sandwich, the original, and I always fight with people. This is a big debate regarding the Cuban sandwich. The traditional Cuban sandwich was from Tampa. It's a mixture of the Germans, the Cubans, and the Italian.
Yep.
And that's where you have a real truth. So if you see mustard.
Mustard's okay. Mayonnaise is not.
No, mayonnaise is not. It was mustard, pickles.
Yep.
And then it was the
Swiss cheese, salami. Swiss cheese is for the
Penne.
Germans. The salami is for the Italians. The roast pork
the penne.
is for the Cubans, and then the ham was for the Spaniards and the local crackers that were from
Where
this
did the
area.
bread?
The bread's Cuban bread, of course.
Yeah, the bread. Yeah.
And the best Cuban bread is right around the corner at La Segunda.
I lived a block from there.
Yeah.
My parents used to make me go get that bread, and they would give me free treats every time I go get that bread.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk more about this place. This is your shop, your business. You got multiple shops.
Yeah. We have several locations in the Tampa Bay area. We've been in business for about 25 years. We set out to do something a little bit different than a lot of other tattoo companies, especially at the time. In 2001, there was a few operators that had multiple locations, but we had decided in the beginning that we wanted to do something different and create a bigger business that had a bigger impact on tattooing. It's been something that's allowed me to learn about business and give back because I'm able to create jobs for people and try to improve people's lives, either through putting tattoos on them, which I feel is a sort of kind of magical spiritual thing, but also, providing jobs for people that are able to provide for their families because of what we're doing.
Let me tell you something. I know Clay for years. Many years. Even we just talked about it. We even crossed paths in the 90s when I was in the industry too. And then I used to work in supplies. And then he used to buy supplies for me. And then I watched his shops just like boom, boom, grow, grow. One thing I do enjoy about Clay is that he keeps a lot of the stuff traditional. He never changed. Even he takes care of a lot of his staff. He was one of the first that I saw that he was getting insurance for the staff. There was a lot of stuff. I mean, for me, being an artist myself, we were like, pirates. We didn't have any type of credit. I mean, I had to deal with a lot of stuff, try to establish credit, try to do this. When I got in the industry in the 90s, it was very hard, and you knew how that was.
Yeah.
So what he did, and that taught me, because I own a shop here in Tampa, is, okay, teach your artists how to establish credit, how to establish, because they have a life, they have family and all this stuff. And Clay was one of the first here that was really building that with a lot of artists. And you went through a lot of artists, that build their own shops later on.
Sure. Yeah. Having a business for 25 years in a single market, you're going to have a lot of ebb and flow and, different cycles of things. And, we've had a pretty impressive group of people come through our company. And a lot of them, we still have a good relationship with. There's people that have their own shops here in the same area and have moved on to other markets to open their own shops. But we've tried to maintain a, professional and courteous relationship with everybody.
So I know people out there want to know. He's in Ybor, and there's a lot of craziness that happens here in Ybor. Now, give me something that you could tell me that's wow, that happened here, that, it's like something that you would see in the videos and some vow, some crazy stuff.
I think, I'm not exactly sure if it was like a Friday the 13th kind of special flash day or something, but there was a day when the shop was really busy, and Ybor City was busy out on the street as well.
And the weekends?
It was, I want to say it was a Friday the 13th, so let's just assume it's a Friday. There was a guy in the lobby with no shirt on, which I don't know what you know about that, but a lawyer told me a long time ago, if the cops show up and there's a guy with no shirt on, that's the guy that's going to jail. So, like,
keep your shirts on, guys. I mean, all right? Even if it's halfway like that, keep it on. All right?
If you're in the tattoo shop, it's probably okay to not have your shirt on. But
Oliver Pecker, keep that shirt on.
Anyway,
if you guys know, you know.
This guy's in the lobby with no shirt on, smoking a cigar, and the manager was like, "Hey man, you got to get out of here." And the guy was like, pretty jacked up, like, built guy. And the manager was not a tough guy at the time. He was like, "Hey, buddy, you can't be in here." And the guy's like, "Fuck you, I'll do what I want," like just drunk, whatever. And
typical day in Ybor.
My son-in-law was here, and he took his gloves off, walked right up to the front, and just blasted the dude out.
Hold on, let me.
His
His son-in-law is what, 5?
He's like 5'6", 5'7". I mean, he's
Not
not
that
tall.
tall.
He's not tall.
But
he's
that guy
definitely-
is.
He's tough. He's
You
got.
don't want to cross his path.
He's got a heart of a lion for sure. But he just blasted the dude right out the door, and the guy started swinging, and everybody kind of jumped on the guy. The guy bumped into somebody's motorcycle. A bunch of bikers came out, and I'm pretty sure that guy got, tuned up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
That's one thing great. I think here, if they know you,
Yeah.
There's this, everybody, like, they'll take care of you.
there's a community.
There's
here
a
for sure.
community here,
Yeah.
and they'll take care. I mean, there's an incident happened to me one time where I don't know what happened. I was with a couple guys, and I feel like somebody spiked my drink,
Oh.
and it happens here.
Yeah.
And I was in a bench here in Ybor, and Esben
Yeah.
found me. He was working.
You were
in
just
one
by
of
yourself.
I was by
Your
myself.
friends abandoned you.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And I was in a bench by myself. They didn't know what happened, and Esmond found me. He grabbed me, stuck me into the shop, put me in his car, took me to my house, and told my wife, he's like, "Yo, I found him." I didn't remember what happened.
That's crazy.
I wasn't violated, so I was good. I don't know. I checked myself, but I was good. So,
thank God for Espen.
So now let's talk about something is coming up soon.
Yeah.
What's the date?
The February 20th through the 22nd.
And what's this big thing that's going to happen?
Well, we've brought back the Cigar City Tattoo Fest, which is a interesting tattoo convention. It's at the Cuban Club here in Ybor City, a few blocks away. A really beautiful historic building. It's a 4-story building, and every floor on that building is going to have tattooing. It's all people that we know. It's invitation convention. It's all people that kind of share the same values and really love tattooing, and that's the kind of environment we want to foster in tattooing. So we're going to get these people together. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food trucks. We're going to have films in the theater. There's going to be unique vendors. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do for.
You have stuff outside too.
Yeah. There's a courtyard at the Cuban Club. We have a market there on Sunday. We have a car show on Saturday, and live music every day. So
let me tell you, I've done a lot of shows. I own a show too.
Yeah.
And we were just saying his show brings back a lot of the old feelings the shows I used to do that I do enjoy. I do like what he does. Putting, the Cuban Club is a historical place. I don't know if you're aware, my uncle used to box there.
Oh, I
they
didn't
used
know.
to have a box arena there.
Yeah.
And I could say 8 years old.
Nice.
And my uncle used to they had right out there, they had an arena there.
Yeah.
And they would train. And I would go there and train with my uncle.
That's cool.
So I knew that place.
Yeah.
That place I know for years.
Yeah, it's a 100-year-old building.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it's I hate the elevator.
They redid it. They redid the elevator.
Yeah, it's not big enough for the pipe and drapes. I installed the pipe and drapes, and it's
Yeah.
and it's like I hate doing it every time. I think the price is going to go up
Oh,
next
come
year. Yeah. So yeah, but okay. Now tell me a little bit more about we already talked about the convention.
Uh-huh.
We talked about your shop. Now I want to talk about more about you.
Okay.
Like what you see yourself, down the road. I mean, what you see. I see, you got the convention, you got
Yeah.
your shops. I know you travel. You go to
Yeah.
Cuba.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do all this stuff. What else? What else will you expect with Clay?
Well, I don't know. I don't have any concrete plans right now to do anything new. I feel like the stuff that I'm doing keeps me busy, and I enjoy it. I have 2 grandchildren now, and that's definitely takes up a lot of my free time, and I
We're
absolutely
getting old. So.
love that. I mean, I've graduated to grandfather, and that's amazing. I've been married for 33 years.
Congrats.
So that's a big accomplishment. We'll continue to do the work in Cuba as long as we can. I mean, who knows what's going on?
Talk
down
about
there
that
now.
about. And I'm going to tell you, I was
Yeah.
trying to go. It was last year. I told him, hit me up. I
Yeah.
wanted to go. Because of timing, I wasn't able to go.
The-
But hopefully by this year, I'll be able, if we
Well-
do it, or the following time. I mean, with everything going on.
Yeah, the problem is the situation in Cuba is really unstable right now, and I would not be comfortable going down there. We went last year in May, and what we've done is create a charity where we help Cuban tattooers and artists and teach them the proper ways to tattoo. We do a bloodborne pathogen class with them. We try to educate them about tattoo history and tattoo culture, because Cuba is sort of like operating in a vacuum. It's so isolated, and they have limited access to information. So we've tried to kind of bring them information that they couldn't get otherwise. We've judged tattoo contests for them. We've given them seminars on different aspects of tattooing. We try to teach them to kind of cooperate with each other and build a tattoo community there on the island, because it's really kind of underground. It's a dangerous thing for them to do because it's not exactly legal.
No.
So the situation's, it's not black and white really.
And there's so many good artists.
Oh, yeah.
I have artists that worked in
Oh,
my
yeah.
shop. You have artists too.
Yeah, yeah.
And so many talent that's there. And I'm talking about fine artists.
Sure.
That they found another avenue to make money, because just to be an artist is very hard
Yeah.
in Cuba.
Yeah.
So
Well, even tattooing in Cuba, these guys are tattooing for $2 or $3, but
Yeah.
that's like a week's pay to them, So it's a really a labor of love for them.
And they're doing amazing work.
Oh yeah,
work, amazing
absolutely.
Work.
The last tattoo event that we went to last May, we judged some contests and things like that, and the work that we saw was just phenomenal. I mean, on the highest level.
You remember, was it 2 years ago at my show, there was one Cuban guy that back to back,
Yeah.
he was winning trophies back
Yeah.
to back. And I remember I came up to him, I was like, hey, where you learned this? How long you been tattooing?
Yeah.
He goes, 2 years.
Yeah.
He goes, 2 years. I go, where you learn? He goes, YouTube. And he's from Cuba, and I
Yeah.
was like, mother, it's
Yeah.
like.
He was just naturally talented, but the dedication that those guys have to the craft
hunger,
is just like,
It's a necessity.
yeah.
They-
I mean, they're committed. It's impressive.
okay.
It re-inspired me, really. I mean, I after 30 years in the business, you have these periods where, you have different emotions about tattooing. Sometimes you love it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And going to Cuba and seeing the stuff that was going on there really helped me fall back in love with tattooing and re-inspire me. So that was awesome.
That's good you say that because I'm so tired. We're both the same age. I'm so tired hearing a lot of our old schoolers that are like back in the day, this and that. I mean, every generation changed.
Sure.
And and yes, there's new technology and makes it easier. I remember when they were calling the rotaries the walking dildos.
Yeah.
And everybody now everybody's walking with dildos, and so it's the funny thing about it, but it's what it is. I think if you still have the respect and
Yeah.
understanding of this trade, I think overall, there's more. I think there's more people getting tattooed. You've seen it, and
Oh,
I.
yeah.
How many people are getting tattooed? I think he's writing me. Milo is saying something. What are you saying right here?
Oh yeah, the organization that we created is called Amigo Tattoo, and through that organization, it allowed us legal access to visit Cuba. There's currently economic embargo against the entire government of Cuba, so you cannot go there as a tourist and just do tourist stuff. You have to have a legitimate cause to go and help Cuban people, and that's one of the things that we've been able to do, which is really fulfilling for me to be able to give back to people that wouldn't have access to the things that we're bringing them. So it's fun. It's also risky, it's an adventure. We're smuggling tattoo supplies in, we're doing some stuff that's on the edge of what's legal. It's like that real kind of pirate culture that tattooing, came from. So that's what we're trying to preserve and, continue down there.
So, what are we gonna ready to expect this year? I know you told me some. Any
Yeah.
surprise?
So at the Cigar City Tattoo Fest this year, we have probably the most impressive list of artists that I've ever seen for the style of tattooing that I like. It is people that I've kind of looked up to throughout my career, and now I get to
Give me
host
some
them.
names.
Juan Puente is going to be there.
Really?
Who is somebody that
He's-
I've never met in person,
He's
but
sick.
I've always
if you
admired
guys
his work.
don't know him, check on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Very good artist.
Yep.
Traditional. I mean, solid. I think I'm gonna see if I can get tattooed by him. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
He's
hopefully.
a machine builder. He's an artist. He's like he does everything. I mean, he is like what's right about tattooing. Some other people that are going to be there is Jeff Whitehead from I guess he's from Oregon now, but I learned about him when he was tattooing in San Francisco. We're in addition to all the artists that we're going to have live music every day.
in the bands. Which
So,
bands?
so we're going to have some local bands every day, and then on Friday and Saturday, some more kind of regional bands. Friday night is headlined by Rambler, and I think Saturday is Lucy from New York, and I don't think they've ever played in Florida before. So that's
But let me
pretty
tell you
exciting.
one thing I do like about the bands that he does is knowing with us experience with shows, and I experienced in my show is that it's depending on the venue. If you have a band in your venue, it gets loud,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, if you're tattooing, you got this band behind you, it sucks. His is different. It's a different section where he does. You have an outside, you have
we have stuff outside, and depending on the weather,
because
we
they
might
have a
to move it
stage inside, like a actually theater
Yeah.
stage, where it's like the noise. There's no noise on it, so it's really really cool about that.
Yeah, and in the theater during the day when there's not anything else going on, we'll have films playing in there. So we'll show like the Sailor Jerry documentary.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, the Stoney Knows How documentary.
Stoney, yeah.
The Ed Hardy documentary. So all the tattooers.
You should put the
that-
new with the Jack Rudy or something.
I have that Tattoo
Yeah,
Nation.
you that?
We have
Yeah,
that
Tattoo
one. Yep.
Nation. Yeah,
Yep.
because old Jack, everybody's talking about him
Yeah.
now.
I found some other movies too that we're going to include this year. I found one on Doc Forbes, who was a tattooer in the 50s and 60s in Canada, and another documentary on Zeke Owens, who
Oh, wow.
doesn't get enough credit,
No.
I think, especially in the, street shop, walk-in, classic, authentic tattooing world. Zeke Owens was really renowned and
Street shops.
yeah,
bike,
deserves
motorcycle,
some
street shop, yeah.
recognition.
Yeah, especially it was what he was in not the East Coast, wasn't he?
No, yeah, he was Jacksonville, North
Jacksonville,
Carolina.
yeah.
Camp Lejeune.
Yeah,
outside
because a
of
lot they talk about the
Marines.
West Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Stoney.
Yeah.
My dad got tattooed by him.
Did he?
It was
That's
so
awesome.
funny because I was looking at his tattoos and I always see that little star
Yeah.
next to him. One day we were doing lunch and I'm sitting, I was like, "Fuck, those little stars." And then I show him the video of
Yeah.
Stoney. I say, "Was this guy the one who tattooed you?" He got teary. He goes, "Yeah, that's the guy over there in Gainesville." In Gainesville, no, not Gibsonton.
Okay, yeah.
Gibsonton,
So yeah, Gibsonton was where the carnival would spend the winters. And,
Correct.
I know Stoney had a shop in Ybor for a little while, and then he moved over to downtown.
What was that you put?
So I think the primary focus of a lot of the artists that are going to be at the Cigar City is more like the American traditional with some Japanese and some fine line and black.
Just
and gray,
traditional. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
traditional.
it's-
just traditional.
It's just
because-
traditional.
Yeah, because you
tattooing.
have Japanese,
Yeah.
you have American, and,
Yeah.
and a lot of people who's out there that don't know what that means. It's just solid line,
Yeah.
saturated colors.
Yeah.
Some guys use only 4 base colors. Some guys, would just use just a black and just saturate it down. It's not realism. It's not neorealism. You'll probably find something there, but it's mostly focused
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, it's those are the people that the group of us that's hosting the show are most connected with and have the most in common with. So that's kind of what we wanted to curate, and show off to the community, our friends in the tattoo world, and then we wanted to also show off our community to these tattooers that we're friends with.
So let me ask you, give me the worst tattoo category, because you guys do competition.
Yeah, we're gonna have some tattoo
Competition.
contests.
Yeah, so give me a category that you like taking back. You're like, okay, I think I'm not gonna do that one again.
No, we have a category for the worst tattoo,
Yeah.
and that's the one that is the most fun.
But the funny thing, you're gonna give them a trophy. That's what
yeah,
my work.
yeah.
I have to give
Yeah.
them like something different. I have to give them like
The
some
biggest trophy
the
goes to the
biggest-
worst tattoo.
with
They
like
gotta
a
wear
fish or
crappy
something.
tattoo.
with a medallion, worst
Yeah.
tattoo ever.
Yeah.
Something like that. So tell me.
We like to have fun, we wanted to have the standard categories, best traditional, best sleeve,
and
whatever.
what was that worst tattoo you were getting ready to say? And it's
Somebody made a meme of a tattoo convention where the MC's trying to hype the best small fine line tattoo, like a little Pinterest
Oh, yeah,
tattoo
yeah.
or something, because that's like
That's
the
the
big
thing.
trend right
Yeah, yeah.
now. But I, that's not actually a category.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a funny thing to make fun of.
sorry, you fine line artists. We're not trying to hate on you.
No. I love all aspects of tattoo, and I like the
There's clients that like it. And
Sure.
they pay, that's all
Sure.
good.
I like the tattoos that are made in the garage, the ones that are made in the in prison, the ones that are made in the islands by hand poking them, all of them. That's I love all of it.
So tell me your first tattoo.
Okay.
The first one, it's got to be a long time ago.
Yeah. I tattooed myself when I was a kid. I saw the movie Decline of Western Civilization. It was a documentary about punk rock, and the band X is in there, and they're hand poking, some tattoos on themselves. And I watched that and studied it, and I did the same thing and did a little skull.
What kind of ink?
Just India ink,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, just
India.
like,
We
and
used to go to the art supply and just like,
I did it with regular ink one time and it just fell out. And I was like, well, that
Yeah.
ain't the right shit.
India
so
ink.
I ended up getting some India ink. I did a little skull on my leg and a cross on my other leg.
you
But-
still have it or?
well, one of them's covered up and one of them you can still see.
No,
so,
okay.
they're still there.
Yeah.
But my first tattoo in a shop was probably 1989-ish. The town I grew up in Tallahassee, there was no tattoo shops. It was the Bible Belt back then. There was no strip clubs, no tattoo shops. Couldn't buy alcohol on Sunday. I mean, it was like very conservative. But in Panama City Beach, which is about 2 hours away, you could get tattooed. So we drove down there. I must have been 17 or something. And it was like that Simpsons episode where Bart walks in and goes, "One mother, please." And the guy goes, "How old are you?" He goes, "18, sir." He goes, "Get in the chair." Pretty much how it went
That's
down.
how it was. That's
All
how
right,
it
yeah, if
was.
you got the balls to come in here and get a tattoo, I'll put it on you.
You could put color yourself and be like, "I'm 18, sir." All right, get in there.
Yeah.
They didn't give a shit.
The artist that did it was Adam West, and back then, he was pretty renowned tattooer. But Tony Olives was working down in Panama City back in those days,
Tony.
and that's when I first met Tony in like the early '90s. So that was, tattoo was dangerous back then. You could have gotten a tattoo or a black eye from the tattooer. You never know.
Yeah.
And that was part of what attracted me to it. It was outlaw culture. It was
different from.
antisocial.
So what we talked about and I don't want to sound like back in the day. I hate sounding like that, and I was telling you that earlier. But tattooing before and tattooing now, and I'm
Yeah.
talking about shops,
Sure.
was night and day. First of all, there was not really a lot of piercing.
No.
You didn't find piercing. There was only certain piercings
Yeah,
when it
that
comes to
that was
piercing.
in the cities, and it was almost like a fetish thing.
Correct.
That's how it started.
And then you had the old schools like, I am not fucking
No.
piercing in my shop, not that thing. So yeah, but it was from shops. So tell me a little bit, like how, in your opinion, from how it was before and how it is now.
Okay, so the evolution of tattooing went from like the kind of I don't want to say back alley because I don't remember it ever being that.
We're not
kind
that
of-
old.
No. But it was definitely on the edge of acceptable society, and a lot of things. This is like late '80s, early '90s when I first started getting tattoos and doing tattoos. That's when things started to slowly change. There was like 1 or 2 magazines back then, and then
It was a
became
Skin
a
Art, was
bunch
it?
of, well, the first one was Outlaw Biker, and then they had
Yeah, I
Outlaw
remember.
Tattoo.
But it's the same company.
Yeah,
Then they
had Skin Art and all
yeah.
that stuff.
You found it in all the bookstores.
And it evolved. You could see it happen, especially in
Tattoo
retrospect.
Society.
International Tattoo Art was the really kind of top
Correct.
tier.
That was like the high end.
Yeah, that was like
Like the
the
high
fine
end.
art of tattoo.
We were like, ooh,
Yeah.
it was even hard. It was
Yeah.
like, wow.
glossy.
Yes,
It was
glossy.
cool.
That was the one we were like, oh, look at this. And yeah, that was the collectors. I think I still have some of those.
The magazines came, and then probably the next thing would be the internet, and that's when it really brought it into people's homes. You could find information about tattooing and stuff online. People would have websites or whatever. Then the TV shows came.
Yeah.
So Miami Ink was the first one that really caught on, but I don't know if
No,
you were,
that was
I was gonna say.
yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, Doc Dog at Las Vegas Tattoo.
He was one of the first
He
pioneers.
definitely
Here in Tampa. He was the first pioneers.
The world
You
wasn't.
tell him, you
the
tell
world
him.
wasn't ready for this.
No,
he
they
had
was
the
there. He
concept.
would have killed it. He would have killed it now.
Yeah, he came out with it first, and he did it himself, and he did it on like public access, if I
Correct.
remember correctly.
And it was wild.
What was it called? Do you remember? I
It
just
was the
remember-
Las Vegas.
Was it called Las Vegas
Yeah,
Tattoo?
Las
Like,
Vegas.
the name of
Yeah,
the
it
shop?
was Las Vegas, like something like that.
It was
And-
him and Mike Parsons, and I think maybe Ricky Bailey was
Yeah,
working
the
there.
big
then.
guy, the piercer or whatever. That I think is the big guy he had. I don't know who he
don't
was.
remember.
Yeah, and his wife.
Yeah,
and it
Belle,
was there.
yeah.
But it was a reality reel.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
there's nobody realer than Doc. That's
no,
for sure.
it was real. Now, if you guys don't know who's Doc Dog, explain a little bit because you know a lot of
Sure,
his history
So Doc's been tattooing, I don't know, 60 years.
from Vegas.
That's where he got big. He's originally from California.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so.
if I'm not mistaken, he was in California and tattooed maybe with like Owen Jensen or somebody like
Gil
that out there.
Monty and all
well,
them.
Gil,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gil and all
so
that
he was part of that kind of biker-dominated era,
Mm-hmm.
and he's definitely a pirate. and a character
And a hard ass.
just like living tattoo history, you know.
Hard ass, don't
Oh,
forget
for
that.
sure. Yeah. I mean, like he's an honest man. I'll say that. Like,
He'll bust your balls.
yeah, he'll tell you exactly what he thinks,
Yeah.
and will not apologize for it.
Yeah,
and
he's
I love that about him. But yeah, he's the first one that I am aware of that had a TV show
Mm-hmm.
about tattooing. Then Miami Ink came, and that really put it in everybody's living room. You know, it removed the stigma. You know.
Well, let me put it like this. I like to ask if any artists, tattoo artists, new tattoo artists, or future ones that want to become a tattoo artist, what advice can you give them? Don't do it. No, no, that's just me. Don't worry about it. What advice can you give them to expect, or what to do, what not to do, or what paths they should go? Because there's a lot of people, especially now with social media, especially now with all these tattoo schools.
Yeah.
There's one thing that you and I learned in the shops, the etiquette, certain things we learned that they forget.
Yeah.
They forget about it. And, you know, and we were like, you know, solder where we get, you know, making needles and
Breathing
all
the
these
fumes.
breathing the fumes. That's why I forget stuff. It wasn't the drugs. It was the fumes from the solder machine. And, you know, and this noise, believe it or not, this noise I hear, I love it. That's why I love his show compared to a lot of shows. You don't hear this that
Yeah.
much. You know, this, my kids was falling asleep in this. This is like their white noise, you know? So what
So-
can you tell them?
Well, I don't think the tattoo schools are going to go away. First of all,
No.
There's states that require tattoo schools, so that's going to be there forever. That needs to be something that tattooers come to grips with. Whether we think it's right or not is irrelevant at this point because it ain't going away. So that being said, the best advice I have for somebody that's interested in getting into tattooing is to keep an open mind and listen and keep your mouth shut. Learn about the culture, the history, the values, the ethics. You know, learn what's proper and try to have the attitude that you being a part of tattooing is going to make it better. You want to improve tattooing by being a part of it instead of let tattooing just kind of make you cool. You know, you need to be what makes tattooing better, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
that's the attitude I think people need to
I
have.
think too, just a little bit of respect.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's enough people out there that want to get tattooed, and depending on the style that you bring it in, it's not just your style, it's your personality. So if you have this cocky personality, you'll still get clients. I mean, people don't care, but the thing is that it's just changed yourself. You know how much you could grow.
Yeah.
I feel that, you know, just, you know, how your show is, where people network.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of shows now, people stay in their booth. They'll just sit there. They don't
Yeah, with the
talk to nobody
headphones
with their
on. Yeah.
headphones.
No.
You know, part of, you know, this industry was a networking. You know,
Yeah.
I recall when I did the shows, I look forward
Sure.
to see that old school friend of mine.
Yeah.
You know, and I look forward to seeing them and be like, yo, how's it been?
Yeah.
You know, I can't wait to see you next year
Yeah.
or something like that. And that's one thing that these new artists need to know. Get with other artists.
Yeah, definitely. The
And we
more-
both own 2 shops.
Yeah.
And we do 2 conventions, and we're here sitting, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel that this is what the industry should do. You know, this is what we should do. That's this way, not compete with each other, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you need to collaborate and cooperate with people that are, you know, worth that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. Everybody's not doing it the right way, and you
Yeah.
need to recognize the people that are and respect that.
And the ones who, and I'm going to tell you, business out there that you guys are getting involved. So if it comes to the supply business or conventions or products out there that is not really involved in this, you artists need to be aware of it, because this is how it used to be.
Yeah.
This is how we did. You know, artists to artists, we would, you know, help each other. He knew me when I was in the supply end when I couldn't do it. So that was one of the things that I could tell you that was we should do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to continue getting old and just doing business together. So that's the thing. You know, I'm always been his pain in the ass. So, well, listen, I want to say, everybody, thank you very much. It's my first time doing this podcast. with the one and only Clay. And tell me, what's the dates? Tell me everything.
February 20th through the 22nd at the Cuban Club right here in Ybor City. You can check out www.cigarcitytattoofest.com or check us out on Instagram at Cigar City Tattoo Fest.
And
get
your
all-
shop,
Atomic Tattoos.
and they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And more to come. All right. My name is Chino Gonzalez, and I'm with Clay.
All right. Thanks.
Take care.